Yo. I did actually read the preview this time before I started stream, unlike I did have to be told about it. I didn't get I'm on the Werecat website I'm on the Werecat website email list that they're supposed to like announce when they have a new teaser and whatever, but it never I don't know, it never goes through for me. It's weird, but I did read it. So I am caught up with the Werecat news for once. You guys, I have an announcement to make. I created something that you guys should totally do. I'm linking it in the description, or I'm linking it to you guys. Give me 1 second, let me find it. Okay, here it is. For you guys who love quizzes, I'm not blocking ads. What are you talking about, Jetpunk? Obviously, I would never block ads. This is I created this quiz. It's called Name Every Warrior Cat. You guys should do it. You have 1 hour. I can't give you more than 1 hour. This has every single named warrior cat on it, pulled from the wiki. It's updated to the Dark Tales Judgment teaser. It's not updated. I know that technically because of the teaser for Guiding Light. Is Guiding Light's coming out next? Yeah. There are some like name changes. I know. I looked up actually warrior cats and I found this blue star, I'm assuming, and I'm like, yeah, this is the exact icon it needs for the quiz. This has every single cat on it. So I think it's got like 1,500. It doesn't have like Suzanne's missing kits. It doesn't have any of the mythical cats. So it doesn't have like the leopard clan, tiger clan, lion clan. And then you can shorten the tribe names. So you can just type in like swoop. You don't have to type in swoop of chestnut hawk. I will tell you that if you think you don't have enough time, you do. I come here bearing proof that there is enough time. There is enough time. Give me a second. That is not what I wanted to show you guys. Here it is. No, that's not what I wanted to show you guys. What is it? Captured on PNG. So, yes. So there is enough time. You can get all of them. I was able to do it in a little over 50 minutes, so you can do it. It is enough time. You can't, there's not that much time for, you gotta be locked in though. But yes. Yeah, you're a Warrior Cats fan? Name every character then. Hey, Starry. Anyway, hello everybody. I am gonna be working on this a little bit. I kind of listened to The Devil on My Shoulder and I'm thinking of redoing a set of designs on the blog. I sat down the other day and I just realized that the Where's Project design blog, which is the one that's always linked on the side over here. There's a so I just realized that I would say the majority of cats, I'd say about 80% of the designs on this blog, they're now over 5 years old, 6 years old, pretty much. The bundle that I did for COVID, so when I completed the designs, I think I finished them up in like July of 2021. So there are a lot of designs that are over 5 years old now. And it's pretty crazy to think about. But there is a bundle of designs that I've been kind of being like, there is no reason for me to come back and revisit them. But I've been kind of wanting to. And I did draw 2 of them yesterday. So I might do another set today. I'm hoping that Darktale's Judgment doesn't have too many more characters added than what we got in the Allegiances. It'll be interesting to see. There are certain cats that aren't in there that we know for sure are part of the kin, so it does make me interested in how, like, what made them decide to put those specific cats in the Allegiances, and like they didn't put Rain or Raven or Roach in there. So it'll be interesting to see. It's gonna be a mixed bag. I'm not gonna lie, it'll probably get leaked in the next couple of weeks. If it gets leaked, it'll get leaked in the next couple of weeks. That's typically when the books get leaked. So Rain was in the Allegiance. Rain's mentioned, but is he in the Allegiance? You could be right, Darkleaf. Let me go look at it. From the Werecast.com. It's surprising to me that we got the Darktale's Judgment teaser and the Guiding Light teaser in the same month. It's very interesting. I feel like they don't tend to space out teasers very. Like, I feel like they could have waited until after. Like, Darktale's Judgment comes out within a couple of weeks, right? It comes out on the. What does it come out on? No, it comes out next month. The 8th, right? The 8th of September? I feel like they should have put Guiding Light out in the middle of next month, but. Okay, you're right. Rain is there. Soul is there. I forgot that Soul is just randomly in the Allegiance. So it's very interesting. This is a very comprehensive, like, Allegiance list. This is a pretty comprehensive Allegiance list for cats outside the clan. So it'll be interesting to see how many more they add. Aw, see October. Silt. Yeah, Silt, Dragonfly, Raven, Nettle, Flame, Toad. Toad is mentioned. He's the one that Darktail pushes from the tree in Hawkwing's Journey. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Anyway, we're gonna start with the roughs on this. I did make a layout, so I do know what the proper canvas size needs to be for this. It does include a zoom in on the face while the wind is whipping. So give me a second and let me update the canvas dimensions. We want 2120. Also, when I do this, I use my numpad, which, well, hold on, let me do my other one. No. Don't lock it. 2120. 2120. Thank you. And then let me copy paste this out. My proper canvas bounds are those red lines. All the rest of it is just extra. I misread Fuzzface as Fuzzball. Fuzzface is a cute name. Thank you. I like my PNG tuber. My friend made it for me. I will promote him right now. I feel like Soul would give Darktail some details on SkyClan. That's true. You're probably right on that one. That's probably how he found. But it'll be interesting I am a little... I am bracing myself, like that meme image of the guy in front of the tornado. I'm like bracing myself for how much kind of timeline shenanigans are going to happen with Dark Tale's Judgment. They tend, when it comes to telling concurrent stories outside of the clans, there tends to be a lot more fudging of details. That's why a lot of the Sky Clan's timeline gets really, really murky. So it'll be interesting to see if they accidentally put Soul in front of Darktail before he finds the lake territories, or you want Soul to die. I would love to have like a finale to Soul's life at some point. He is one of the only main antagonists, I'd say, that really doesn't have a proper end. Give me a second, I have to resize all of this. Convert to symbol so that I can turn down the alpha. Match it up. Please. And then I want to clear this keyframe. I want to clear the whole tween because we'll tween it in After Effects. I just want to make sure that this is the same size, because what I'm referencing is the most zoomed in section. So I want to make sure that when I zoom it in fully 100%, it's at 100%. I don't want it to be like at 110 or whatever, because you're going to start losing quality. So just kind of do that, and then that looks good. Then the other thing I'm going to do is exit out of all of this. I'm going to open up a screenshot from the last frame of what we worked on last Thursday. Where did I put that? It's going to be in quick access because I haven't really done too much. You know what? I think I sent it in the map server. Hold on. Let me grab it from there. Yes, I did. Awesome. Okay. This is the layout. This is the sketch. I have high hopes in Changing Skies. Moonpaw and Golden Paw run into Soul and Sleek Whisker. I do think that there's a good possibility of Sleek Whisker making a reappearance. I do think that's a good possibility. And they do like relying on like arcs 1 through 4 characters, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Soul again. I think it's a little bit harder for them to shove him into the narrative than it would be for Sleek Whisker. But it seems like they're from reading the teaser, Well, I was surprised that Warrior Clan made a reappearance all of a sudden. It was a good surprise. I'm always for more Warrior Clan content. But going from past experience on how Warriors writes, kind of chronologically speaking, we usually they kind of remind us of a group or introduce us to a group in a super edition that comes out before the arc book happens, and then they will introduce it into the main series. So that's what they did with Cats of the Park, where they reintroduced us to Cats of the Park in River Stars Home, and then the next release after River Stars Home was Thunder, where we get where the Cats of the Park officially come into the main line again. Warriors Clan kind of came out of the blue because they haven't really been mentioned ever since Gray Stripe's Vow. Sorry, I almost said Ravenpaw's Vow. I genuinely thought that Warrior Clan was going to be who Nightheart and Frostpaw ran into from the blurb that they released on for that one. So I don't know. So, but I'm saying that because I think that they could reintroduce us to Sleek Whisker and Soul in Dark Tale's Judgment, and then introduce them into the main line, whether that be in Guiding Light or in False Dawn. It was a happy surprise for the teaser that we kind of we skipped the platitudes in that they've just teleported to the Sky Clan's Old Gorge, and we didn't have to go through the motions of doing a journey. I did appreciate that. I was like, oh, thank God. Warrior Clan had 3 apprentices. Rustpaw, Pricklepaw, and Darkpaw. Warrior Clan's very similar to how... I know, I really like Warriors Clan. It's very much... I remember Kate saying that the premise for Warriors Clan was to kind of canonize everyone's fan clans of when they were younger, to be like, all of them could exist in some sort of way. It's just a fun little group. Very nostalgic. I liked how I honestly really like Gray Stripe's Vow. It's probably one of my favorite super editions, especially it's definitely one of the better ones in recent memory. But yeah, this will be the first time that they show up. So that means, oh yeah, I always have to type in Moth Flight, Wind Clan, Edison Cat. So that means, I think, that means that the only 2 groups that are still Super Edition only are, well, unless you count Storm Clan. The Wildcats and the Guardian Cats? Is that true? Okay, there's not going to be too much. I think that I'll have, maybe their expressions harden a little bit, but most of the animation is just going to be the wind blowing on this one. Styx group? True. Guardian Cats? Yeah. The Guardian Cats were in Tiger Heart's Shadow. There was a time... Oops, I'm in object drawing mode. Hold on. There was a time where they like just added a bunch of random groups into every single super edition. I mean, it's still happening. It started, I would argue it started with Tiger Heart Shadow, where we got the Guardian Cats, and then we got Scorflight's Hope with the sisters, and then we got Grey Stripe's Vow with Warrior Clan, and then we get River Star's Home with the Cats of the Park, which is technically asterisks. They were in the bonus scene in Thunder. And then we got the Wildcats in Storm Clan. So they do really like putting random groups into super editions now. I'll be interested to see if we get one in Dark Tales Judgment, but I'm pretty sure we're just gonna have like the kin form. Russell Kit and Stretch Kit have their apprentice names. So I think in the allegiances that dropped, it's Stretch Paw, Russell Paw, and then Eel Paw and Heron Paw. And I am aware of... I still haven't read the False Dawn blurb, but I am aware that it does spoil a warrior name. So I do know that there will be a couple of cats that will need updated pictures. But currently there's only 3 new people that will need drawn. Hey, Superam. Would Russ be considered as an official warrior name? Probably. Yeah. I would consider any... I mean, honestly, I would consider any of the warrior clan names to be official, like, prefixes and suffixes. Even though I know technically speaking they're not, but... I don't see them as any different than, like, Harvey Moon or Billy Storm. I'm gonna draw her all peeled with no fur first. She gets peeled. False Dawn, blurb ruined the upcoming book. Yeah, that's why I didn't read it. I did not read it because I was like, it's gonna spoil it. Even if it spoils nothing, it spoils that there is nothing to spoil. So I'm like, I'm not gonna... I did have a friend tell me that what people were angry about was that it spoiled a warrior name. Which, personally, that is not one of my... That's not what I don't really mind getting spoiled for warrior names. I don't think it really... I would say the majority of the time it doesn't really ruin narrative-wise what if I know what their warrior name will be. I mainly hate when they spoil like major plot events. Like they spoiled a major plot event in Wind in A Starless Clan. And that I'm like, how do you think this is okay? Like, spoiling a major character death that happens in, like, the last 2 chapters, or, like, the last 2 pages of your book, before the book comes out? I'm like, who greenlit this to be public? I need to have a word. I just want to talk. Monkey Star is named Monkey Star because she is a kitty pet. So her pet name is Monkey. So she just named herself Monkey Star. That is why Warrior Clan has, like, there are members that are full-fledged, if you read Grey Stripe's Vow, it makes more sense. what Warrior Clan is like. It was started... I'll give you a lowdown if you want. It was started because Smudge is still alive. And Smudge was telling the younger house cats about when the warriors ran the forest and they got really excited and they wanted to be warriors. So they named themselves Warrior Clan. And then they gave each other... Some of them gave, like, warrior-esque names. So that's why their names feel a little weird. But, like, it's there. But they actually live on River Clan's old territory. Me and Dia and, like, a lot of other friends, we're, like, convinced that they live on Sunning Rocks. Because if you remember in the New Prophecy, River Clan's territory was one of the only territories... I mean, it was the only territory that didn't actually get affected by, like, the new development. They end up leaving because the stream sort of runs out of fish. There's runoff, Firestar convinces them, etc., etc., but I'm, like, convinced that their camp is on Sunning Rocks. Some of them don't. Yeah, Sunning Rocks belongs to Warrior Clan. But similar to, like, the Daylight Warriors of Sky Clan, when they lived in the Gorge, there are Warrior Clan cats that still live with their housefolk, and they go back to them at night. So that's what she mentions in, like, Big Teeth. He is a founding member of Warrior Clan, and he does go back to his two legs. I'm pretty sure Monkey Star goes back to her housefolk at night. Fang, who is the deputy, and Petunia, who is the medicine cat, they do not. They are full-fledged members. They were rescued and kind of, like, seeked refuge in Warrior Clan, and so there are full-time members of the clan that do use it as a sort of group to grow up in and, like, to raise kids in and stuff. So it's kind of a makeshift clan, but it's, like, a really good sentiment. It was put in, as Kate said, to kind of, like, canonize all fan clans and saying, like, as long as you have a warrior spirit, like, you can have a clan anywhere. So it's really cute. It is a really good idea. I do recommend reading Gray Stripes Vow. I think it's worth a read. It has the main, like, issue in the book that needs resolved. I think is pretty sad and tastefully done. It's kind of like more of a nuanced issue. And I think that they did pretty good at exploring that idea from a cat's perspective. I think I'm gonna shrink Mothlight in. I think it's one of the better super editions for sure. It's got a fan favorite character, but he's put into a new situation. It's not just a rehashing of something that we already know, which I think matters a lot. Okay, I think I'm going to make her... I'm trying to think of what all I'm going to make float into the wind. Yeah. Rereading the book soon. It's fun to reread them. I tend to give a lot more leeway to like the writing than a lot of people, but I like to have fun, and I kind of read Warrior Cats to turn off my brain, so I don't know. Okay, I'm going to... So what I'm gonna do is draw her fur bits. I'm gonna use this as a reminder of what the proper size is for these, so that when I start blowing them around in the wind, I'll have something to keep in mind so that they don't get too big or too small. That is why I'm drawing these in red right now. I'm feeling if they kill anyone, how many lives Lee Star has. I actually don't know. Did they actually mention that she is on her last life? They mentioned that she lost a life in her sleep, but I can't remember if she was coy about how many she had. It's not, for me, if I remember correctly, I was reading it kind of like fast, and I was on a call with some friends when I was reading it, so my reading comprehension might have been hindered. They did. Okay. Because I just remember her being a little bit coy when Tawny Pell asked how many lives she had left, and she went like, it doesn't matter how many lives you have left, if you're growing old, you'll just like lose them. And then she does admit that she lost one like the night that they arrived or whatever. So they basically hand-waved the idea that, oh, well, she can live for a couple more years because she's got like 9 lives. They hand-waved that with her going, it doesn't matter if you're dying from old age, it doesn't matter how many lives you have left. You're just gonna lose them. Just let her rest, man. Gosh darn it. They're making her travel. That's like a month-long journey, by the way. I'm sure that they won't make it. I've estimated about how long it takes to get from each specific area, like major area in Warriors, and it's like a month. I think the quickest that they were able to make that journey is in like A Vision of Shadows, and it was like 2 weeks. So it's like a month there and back. It's like the fastest you can make that journey. They, of course, will make it a lot faster, probably, but... Yeah, they do that with a lot of things, Magic. I have tried to estimate approximately, but you have to also think, like, they brought Brightheart, Tawny... Oh my gosh, there's this part in the... Wait, hold on, I have to show you guys this. You guys have me all distracted, but it's okay. There's a part in Guiding Light, the teaser. Let me find it. Yes, okay, this is funny. So she mentions the cats that are on the journey to go to the gorge. It's Tawny Pelt, Brightheart, Leaf Star, Frecklewish, Harry Brook, and Frost On. So, wait, yeah. Tawny Pelt, Breeze Pelt, Brightheart, Frost On, and then 3 cats from Sky Clan: Leaf Star, Frecklewish, and Harry Brook. In this statement, Tawny Pelt, Breeze Pelt, Brightheart, and Leaf Star are all complaining about the cold. They're saying they're too old, right? Why is Frost on there? She's the bus driver. I don't know. But she goes, they're all complaining, and then she mentions that the younger cats, Frecklewish and Harrybrook, and the River Clan medicine cat Froston look perplexed. But I'm sitting here like, Frecklewish and Harrybrook are both older than Breezepelt. I'm just like, they really have no idea how old some of these, like, cats are. Harrybrook and Frecklewish are both older than Breezepelt. And you brought Brightheart on this journey? Like, give her a break. Why'd you have to bring I'm like, ThunderClan has like 40 warriors. And you're bringing Brightheart? What are they doing over there? Oh my goodness. They really have no idea how old some of these SkyClan cats are. At all. It's quite sad. I'm trying to think if I want her... I don't think I'm going to make her leaves behind her ear blow in the wind, because I think I'm going to have everything around them blow. So I think I'll be fine if I just don't add them. But that's what I'm saying, right? If you're not in the main clan, like either in the lake territories or the forest territories, your group of cats kind of like gets stuck in cryo space where like you don't really age that much. Froston's there for emotional support. I know, I don't know why she just decided to show up. I feel like they have to give her something to do because she was point of view last arc, but I'm like, no, you don't have to give her anything. I just was amused at that specific mention. I'm like, Harrybrook? I'm almost positive yeah, because Harrybrook is alive. He's a kitten when Soul is like, before he even shows up in Power of 3. He's like the same. He's got to be like the same age as Breezepelt. At the bare minimum. And then Frecklewish was an apprentice in SkyClan's Destiny, which is before, like, she's a full-fledged medicine cat by the time that Harrybrook is born. So she is quite old as well. She's only... Yeah. But SkyClan's timeline is very murky. It's very hard to nail down. There's a... And I think that it causes issues for them because the Wikipedia... They use the wiki a lot to, like, gauge how old certain characters are. And because SkyClan is so murky, a lot of those cats don't actually have proper birth dates. Like, I don't even think Hawkwing has it. So they probably just kind of... I feel like they assume a cat is younger than they are. I don't think they've ever assumed a cat is older than they are. Which is why it's coming back to bite them, because they are refusing to retire some of these characters. I do read comments. When I'm doing animation like this, though, some of them will slip through the cracks, so... But yeah. I was just surprised we got Guiding Light so quickly. Moss Pelt's older than Misty Star. She is not older than Misty Star, but she is definitely the oldest cat alive right now. She is seen as a kitten. We actually do know her exact birth, like her exact age, because she is seen as a kitten in Leopard Source Honor. So she does have an age. She is... I do think that she's about the same exact age as Gray Stripe was. I remember kind of like aging her for when I first did the River Clan camp picture. She is seen as an apprentice. She's seen as a kit the day before, and then she's seen as an apprentice the day that Oakheart dies, which is the same day that Firepaw joins the clan, which is the day after Gray Stripe says it's his first night out as an apprentice. Therefore, he is approximately 6 months old. So, using deduction, you can say that she is born pretty much at the same exact time that Gray Stripe is born. And he is about the same age as Firestar. There's a small part of me. I don't think they're not using AI for they're not using AI for the books as far as I know. They did just add 2, so they have, technically speaking, they have 4 people writing the books right now. I do think that's because Cherith will probably be retiring at the end of this arc. So they'll be back down to 3 people writing, which is what they've typically always had, is 3 people writing. They are using AI for the Tencent movie or the Tencent series, and then I am sure that they will use AI for the Tencent mobile game that they've teased, because it's Tencent, and Tencent is the forerunner in AI usage. But as far as I'm aware, they're not using AI for any of the books. They specifically, so the graphic novels are done by 2 groups of artists, and they specifically picked 2 different artists to do the odd graphic novel adaptations and the even graphic novel adaptations to get them out quicker. But as far as I'm aware, they're not using it for the actual, like, new content. There are quite a lot of mistakes and like actual human typos and stuff, I think, for it to not be written by a human. Prove me wrong. I will disclose I'm not the best at being able to point out when something, especially in writing, is using AI. I'm still getting better at it. Okay, so I have the sketch down, so we're gonna write this down as the sketch. This is the new one. And then we'll start animating the wind blowing. I'm gonna make it about 2 frames longer. Okay. Can I alphatize you? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think I'm gonna make it maybe on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will this shot be zooming in? Yes, it's a zoom in. So I've made the entire canvas bigger so that when it's finished zooming in, that'll be where it's 100%. Otherwise, it can start to get, it's kind of like how when you zoom in on a bitmap drawing and you start to get fuzzy. Everyone I met. Yes, most artists hate AI, well, generative AI especially, because, well, it's training off of our art without our permission. Even in the 10-cent concept art that they posted a couple years ago at this point, and where they disclosed that, yes, they are using AI to produce this thing, you could tell like which artists from the community that they were specifically like putting into their machine to like replicate. I learned about the movie from people talking about how they were using AI. Yeah, I mean, the community puts out amazing pieces of work, like animation wise, and there's so many projects going on nowadays of like, well, I'm the background director for Warrior Cat Animated, where we're like actually adapting the first arc with the love that comes from fans that have grown up and that really want to adapt it the best way that we can. So I can't say. And for older people in the fandom, back in 2015, there was rumors that there was going to be an official animated thingy, and it never happened. So, I mean, I don't know. The other thing is if you know the company that bought the rights to create the adaptation, Tencent, you already knew it was over because just the company has a horrible reputation for microtransactions in video games. They do they have Pokemon Unite. Everything that they touch ends up being like a microtransaction mess, or they are the forerunners in China of using generative AI to make things. They announced the production schedule of like coming out in 2028, which if you're in the industry, you understand that there's no way that they could adhere to that schedule without using AI in production as well. It's just, it was over when they announced what company bought the rights to make an official animated thing, honestly. I try not to be too like down in the dumps during streams. I like to keep things positive. Personally, I hate being negative. I don't find that it gives me as much energy and motivation to be the person I want to be if I just focus on the negatives. So I much prefer being positive. But I am very positive about the stuff that the fans are making, and I would love to keep up with that. Yeah, I'm excited for Wordcat Animated. I hope you guys are too. It's a very fun project. Takes up a lot of my free time. An AI map call? Oh goodness. I will say that usually people, I feel like I tend to give the benefit of the doubt to people who do stuff like that because they might be younger. I know that if you're not really an artist, sometimes it's harder to, if you don't have anyone telling you like, hey, this is kind of like looked down upon, you probably shouldn't do this. If you've never had that conversation, it's very easy to just think that it's okay. You guys see the ads on YouTube of just like everything nowadays is just advertising that they have AI in their stuff. So, I mean, as long as like somebody explained to them like, hey, this is why this isn't really like, doesn't really go over as well in this community, and they like understand that and they want to change, then I think that that's fine. I've had people that had no idea before. How many animators on the Warrior Cat animated project? Animators? A lot. Like over 100, I think. I don't know exactly. I can tell you how many background artists there are. I think we have 50 people on the team right now that are background and painters and layout artists. 96 animators. Okay, that's the head director of Warrior Cats Animated. You can trust Toon. She actually knows the number. Yeah, Toon's the head director. I think we have like 59. Okay, yeah. There were a couple people on there that I'm like, it's time to see. starting a Warrior Cats D&D campaign today. Ooh, it started entirely from scratch. Ooh, that's really fun. I hope it goes well. I've always wanted to participate in something like that, but I feel like I would just like have a hard time finding the time. It's got to be tough to get like a D&D group together of friends like every week or so. Yes. Hello, Star. I think, what's the smallest team? Oh, Warrior Cats Animated. Probably the composers, the music team, and the compositors. I don't like that. This one. Probably the voice actors, actually, technically. Campaign flexible with every other week sessions. Okay. Is it just like everyone's in the same clan, or are there different clans at work? Okay, it gets thicker right here. Warrior Cats trading cards to exist. That would be fun. When maybe Andrews will return to narrating the audiobook. Oh, you want Smudge? Andrews is Smudge. I have good news for you. He actually does voices in Warrior Cats Animated, where he does voice Smudge and Whitestorm. I think he does a different accent for Whitestorm though. I haven't listened to the audiobooks. Gonna go watch some SSS Warrior Cats. Have fun. That's the life right there. You only have listened to 30 minutes to one, then forgot to listen to the Wings of Fire audiobooks. When does the when does the next Wings of Fire come out? Does it have a release date? Amber, I'm very happy to hear that. Is the new girl that did Ivy Pool's Heart? Does she do all of the books now? Which part was I the most satisfied with? The one that I usually answer with is Neglected Space is the one that I am the most satisfied. Everything that I wanted to do in that part came out the way that I intended it to. That is the one where I will watch it and I'll be like, this is I managed to do everything I wanted. But I also feel that way about Devil's Backbone, the Devil's Backbone part. So I think those two are probably the ones I'm the most satisfied at. Oh, Kinkajo's gonna be a protagonist? I feel like people have wanted that for a while. I remember she's been a major... She was like a major character in both the first and second arc, right? Was she in the third one? I can't remember. There's a few versions that she reached her character arc, and that was why she didn't get a book in arc 2. And now she gets her time to shine. Interesting. How do I get short hair cattails to be an even width? That is a hard one. I still struggle with that. So you see how I did this like orange and red kind of thing to keep these in mind? You could do the same thing with a short tail and a long tail and kind of like use a red line to kind of give you an idea of how even they are, but I don't know. I'm really hate doing short tails, like short-haired tails sometimes. They're fun to do because you get to like snake them back and forth, but they are a little hard to wrangle sometimes. Okay. More. Yay, the pins! I will be sending out the surveys within the next couple days. I was able to, they did finally give me the ability to start creating the survey. I wasn't sure when they would, I wasn't exactly sure when they'd let me start creating it, but they finally gave me the email that says, hey, you can start making your survey now. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I'd like to get those going. As fast as possible, because I would love for everyone to get their pins by Christmas. Well, I will be including... They will all be available afterwards, sorry, and then the people that pledged for the Kickstarter or the backer kit will get a little discount code for my website where you can, like, if you can get, I'll probably do like a 20% off or something. So... they will all be available afterward too. There will be none that are exclusive. Aw, thanks, Gribbles. Not on too many pins? Yeah. I'm excited for the mini pins. They're the ones that I'm definitely going to be putting on a lot of things. I might try doing more designs in the future in like that style, because I think that style is pretty... I'm excited to see how they turn out as mini pins, because I feel like they're going to look really cute. The gremlin pins, that is what we called them. They look like little gremlin child. Right there. That one's messing me up. Hey, Tiger Storm. But yeah, they'll all be on, they'll all be available later. Want to make an eat-a bag? I have an idea. So my ideal eat-a-bag is actually something that I would never be able to create and sell, unfortunately. I would love to have an eat-a-bag that's obviously like this, and then this whole entire thing is open, and then there's like a little bit of an embroider that's like the clan logo that you would want. And then I can like put all my ThunderClan cats on it. But you can't. You cannot. They have legally copyrighted the clan symbols, so you can't actually do anything with them. That's why that's why they're not in any of my they're not in any of my merchandise. You can get in some serious trouble. Unfortunately, they'd have to like release them. Yeah, they're one of the few things that they've actually copyrighted. People do sell them, but they can. I don't think you get in a lot. They have the right to. They have the right to tell you, hey, take it down. Of course, there are specific things that I sell that they would probably have the right to tell me to take down as well, so. Behind each character. Designs you did for the headshot poster? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I've been thinking about that. If you did that, then you just need a circle bag, right? And then you could have inserts. See, that's an even more interesting idea, right? Because if you had a circle bag, which it gives you a lot of stuff, and then the whole entire thing is plastic, but then you had the inserts for the clans, then technically you could have multiple inserts. And so for whatever day you're feeling like, you could just switch out the insert. Do you ever just, I'm just like playing it. I mean, it's a little bit choppy, but I feel like I could, when I actually clean it up, I can smooth it out a little bit more. I just need like a base of where everything's gonna go. Yeah, they take down posters. So, I mean, obviously as a fan artist, you play... You're kind of playing a little bit of cat and mouse. But, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I know what you mean, honey. I'm like, well, maybe if you made better merch, people wouldn't feel the need to, you know. Also, for me, I mean, I guess I just grew up. I grew up in an environment. I did a lot of anime cons when I was younger. I grew up around fan art, and it's never been for me, I love supporting people that love the same thing as me, right? I know that when I buy fan art at a convention and I've like sat there, I see the fan art and I'm like, "Oh wow, that's really that's really cool. I really like that too." And you have a really great conversation with the person. You know that the fan art was made with the same sort of like appreciation for the series that you have. And it makes it a lot easier for me to like support the person. You want the Bramble plushie? The one where he's got like the clearly you don't own an air fryer thingy? I mean, I have, to be fair, I do have a lot of official Warrior Cat merch. I have all of the vinyl little minis. I have a bracelet. I think I have some enamel pins from them. But the issue with their merchandise is like it's... See, I like the minis because the minis are one of the few things that they have that they actually hired like a fan artist and somebody that appreciates the series to design them. The minis are specifically J Frost. They have a weird design blog on Tumblr. They're specifically J Frost designs them. So they're made by somebody that's a long-term fan. They really appreciate like trying to make them as accurate as possible, and I like them because of that. The Bonkers Toys ones, well, first of all, I don't like gacha. You guys know that, though. If you guys have watched me, I don't like gachas. I don't like it promoting gambling to young kids by just, like, gambling which toy you're gonna open. But, the minis are actually made by, like, somebody that has been a longtime fan. J Frost is such a longtime fan that they actually have a character named after them in the book. Proper. But, I don't know. You just cheat on Bonkers by looking up the box layout? Yeah, but they still have... The fact that... I wouldn't mind as much the Bonkers toys being like gacha or whatever if every single box had every single character in it, but that's not the case. Also, I think they're just ugly. I think they are equivalent... and to be fair, I have seen one in person, and I still think that they're pretty ugly in person. They look slightly better in person, but they still are like the quality of McDonald's toys. Like, the quality control on them is non-existent. The eye... Like, I don't know. The place where the eye is supposed to be stuck on... on some of them, it's like the eye is just not even in the correct spot. Yeah, in Enceladus. I feel like that with a lot of things. I still have a lot of official stuff. I don't know. I do prefer supporting fan artists and like fans of the show. Usually when I buy fan art, I'm like, I buy it a lot of the times. I'll buy it in person, so then I'll have a conversation with the person about like the show, and then when I look at the art, I remember that conversation, and that's like a really fun experience. I really like doing that. So. I don't know. I like having conversations with people, so it's hard to have a conversation over somebody that made like official artwork. I mean, it hits, or like, well, good luck trying to find that person, basically. Okay, time to do her hair, which is gonna be interesting. I mean, like I said, I have a bunch of friends that collect the Bonkers toys and the Bonkers plushies, and they seem happy with them, and I understand why they're making them. The gotcha blind boxes are super popular right now. It just seems like a bit of a cash grab to me. I just, and I don't really think that... Usually when I buy something, I want to know exactly what I'm buying. And I'm kind of like a completionist, so I also, like, want to have the ability to just buy the entire box. Who's my favorite warrior cat today? Cinderpelt. For sure, 100% today. I'm feeling a Cinderpelty day. Leafpool's a good pick, though. Tiger Heart today. How did I guess? Sunbeam and Frost on. I hope Sunbeam comes back. I wish that she got more of a spotlight in Changing Skies than she's getting right now. she is one of the main character's mentors, which used to mean that you had quite a bit of screen time, but it doesn't seem to mean that much anymore. Love Sunbeam's character. She's the first cat you could relate to. She, I had a friend that really liked Sunbeam. Well, they're still my friend. One of my friends really liked Sunbeam. And I didn't really latch on to any protagonist from A Stardust Clan as much as I did in the Broken Code. I thought that the protagonist trio in Broken Code was pretty fun. Frostpaw is definitely the one that I think is probably my favorite out of A Stardust Clan's protagonists. The Dark Tail is Starling Paw AU. I do think that they're kind of leaning towards making him definitely like the antagonist of the series. He's given Clear Sky vibes, Starling Paw is. For sure. Guiding Lights makes... I feel like he just is feeling a little bit too big for his britches. He's given Clear Sky antagonist, where he just thinks he's in the right and he refuses to... he refuses to think any other way. I think I'm just gonna do what I did for the circle. But in the previews, Starling Paw is like, he's doing like Joker monologues, man. He's talking about society and all that stuff. He's like, oh man, I should be, in this society, I should be praised for speaking. I'm like, okay, dude. But in the preview, he's like, already thinking about being like leader or whatever, and he goes Starling Star, and I'm like, dude, you. I'm sorry to say this, but your mom did not name you to be leader. You don't have a leader's name, dude. Starling Star is never gonna fly here. It's not a good leader's name. You gotta give up that dream. Yeah, he is. He is kind of a little egotist. Little big for his britches, for sure. Starling Star is not a leader name. No, you're gonna have to change your first name if you want to be leader. It's not a good leader's name. Robin Star, though? Yeah, we do have a Robin Star already, but we also already have a Hawk Star as well, so... It's just so funny to me that Starling Paw is beefing with his, like, great-grandpa, right? So, like, we have Starling Paw, Needleclaw, Violet Shine, Hawkwing. Yeah, so his great-grandpa, he's beefing with his great-grandpa. Like, dude, chill. I'm wondering... I don't know. Hey, Amber. I feel like I could have beefed with my great-grandparents if they survived that long. True. Hello, Amber. Starling Star is pretty iconic. It's given Star for sure. Star Kid's Prophecy. For sure, 100%. It is kind of iconic. I have a god named Star. Star Squared? Star Squared? I like that Mothlight's, like, hair and stuff is going kind of more crazy than, Leaf Pools. I feel like Leaf Pools should... I don't know. It gives her more of a... calm anger than Mothlight's, for me. Didn't like Squirrel Star's name until she actually became leader for a few books. It is hard to get used to somebody like Starling or like Squirrel Star, like her name change after we've had like 40 or so books with her being Squirrel Flight. It is 100% hard to change. Yeah, Frostpaw, I mean, I don't think Froston is easy. I mean, it's gotten easier to say, but it's definitely not easier to write. I think that it's very clunky to write it. It is easier to say it. For sure. He would just name the clan after him. I feel like he might get... I don't know what they're doing with him. You think Moonpaw and Goldenpaw are going to be captured and then just so happen to be stuck next to the forest territories and they're going to hang out with Monkey Star? Or do you think that Tawny Pelt and friends are going to be hanging out with Monkey Star? Somebody's got to hang out with Warriors Clan. They're in the prologue, for Pete's sake. Place your bets on which point of view is going to end up there, though. Both? You think that we'll have a convergence? Maybe. I wonder if they're going to go to the Moonstone. Maybe that's how they find Moonpaw and Goldenpaw. Yeah, that's true. I think Hawkwing and Monkey Star talking. I don't think Hawkwing is with Tawny Pelt, is he? Which is crazy to me. I'm like, well, I guess somebody had to be in charge in Sky Clan, but... Two places at the same... Ivy Pool. Oh, yeah. Ivy Pool is, like, consistently a deputy and on that patrol all at once. Yeah, she is kind of... But, like, Ivy Pool has reached Zen since Ivy Pool's heart, so she's able to duplicate herself easily. She's mastered the art. What are they? It's like the Marvel guy that Doctor Strange is. Ivy Pool practices that. They brought Breeze Pelt. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I don't understand why they brought the specific cats that they did. Honestly. Isn't Breeze Pelt on the cover of Guiding Light though? And that would be why. I remember being like, why is he on the cover? Hold on. Yeah, Breeze Pelt and Freckle Witch are above her. And everyone was like, why is Breeze Pelt here? But that's why. Is because they are both on the journey. But then False Dawn has Morning Kit and Hawkwing above Jayfeather. So that's a little weird. I haven't read the blurb, so I have no idea. Okay, I think that's all of the roughs. I'm trying to figure out... I kind of think what I want to do is... I don't want to do... I don't think I'm going to do leaf pools like inner ear and like leaves. But I think I want their eyes to like... Let me turn on pin pressure. Why are they there on the journey? I don't know. Didn't know that there's glowing wasp. Yeah, it's in... I don't think we've ever seen the Whispering Cave other than Firestar's Quest, but it is mentioned in Firestar's Quest. And then Darktail just like committed vandalism by just tearing down the moss, I guess, for no reason. Okay, okay, Darktail. Why are there 3 SkyClan cats? Because I'm sure, well, all the SkyClan cats knew where the gorge was. Frecklewish had to be there because she's the medicine cat. Leafstar, I guess, had to be there because she wanted to see the gorge one more time before she died, basically, is what they've implied. I don't know. Sorry, I'm focusing. Maybe one more. Just like a boil. I don't know anything about half the Sky Clan cats. Yeah, I don't know who the next deputy would be. I think it should be Harry Brook personally, but if we had to pick a newer cat, then I would probably pick like Dew Spring. Dew Spring has had at least one apprentice. He's younger. Yeah. He's only 4. Meanwhile, Harry Brook is 10. So he's about the same age as Squirrelflight. Blossom Heart, yeah. I would love Plum Willow, but the only problem is that Plum Willow is older. Gravel Nose, maybe. Okay. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the time, Hawkwing is, even though he is a great grandpa, I don't actually. Hold on, give me a second. When is he I think he's probably like 7 or 8, so he's like older. I mean, he is pretty old already, so I don't know. Younger leaders usually end up choosing older first deputies. So like think White Storm, think when Crooked Star becomes leader, he picks like Timberfur. One Star picks his sister. But older leaders typically choose somebody younger than them or the same age as them. Like Blue Star was, she was about middle age when she became leader. She picks Red Tail, younger cat. I think that Harry Brook would be a good choice because he supported Hawkwing when he did not want to vote Leaf Star out of office, basically. And so I think that's why he would be a good choice for Hawkwing, as somebody that didn't necessarily want him to be in that position of power yet. So he would be a good check and balance, but and he does seem to be getting a little bit of screen time this arc. Hi, I am animating right now, and I'm animating Moth Flight. It is by Dreamy by it's called Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. It's a leaf pool map. I forgot to pin it to the comments. Apologies. Give me a moment. I forget what Dreamy... It's like Dreamy Art or something like that. Dreamy Me, or maybe. I can't remember what her... I cannot remember what her YouTube username is. The Tawny Kits. Yay! I'm excited for my Strike Stone pin. I'll probably only end up ordering like the minimum of that one, but I'm excited for it. Three pins. There aren't that many. I actually have a decent amount of A Vision of Shadows cats featured. I actually don't have any from A Starless Clan. I have Changing Skies. I think every arc other than A Starless Clan ended up getting like some pins. Alrighty, that is good. So let me export the rough animation into a PNG sequence. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Shot 4 animation. Exporting. Let me open up Clip Studio. Ever make a frost on? So I do have an idea of doing like, I did litter mates. I'd love to do, I haven't thought of like a catchy title for like the series, but I'd like to do ones that focus on like parental relationships. And I do have an idea for like a curl feather frostpaw one. Whether I like just focus on, I don't know. Not exactly sure yet. But I mean, I really like Frostpaw, so I would like to do something with her. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to Clip Studio Paint. I'll probably clean up one. I'll probably be on for another 30 minutes. I think I'll stop at like 5 today. Let me change my program name because I'm going to be in Clip Studio. I would like to try Umo Pin on stream. Umo Pin? Hold on. I bought it. Umo Pin. Yeah, Umo Pin. You can supposedly animate and draw on it. It's $20. Okay. Switching over. Save as. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I want to make a new. I'm trying to remember how to do this. I need a new timeline with 24 FPS. I need to save a duplicate. As animation clean. Hey Bengals, thank you. I will be sending out the surveys as soon as possible afterward so we can get going on the production of them. I have no words with how, like, I don't know. You guys are very awesome. It doesn't feel real. I don't know how to explain. I have no words. It's been kind of a whirlwind. Oh, well, thank you, Bengals. You are the best. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to drag all of these in here. I think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do, actually. I didn't want to open up all of those. Okay. I think what I want to do is actually drag them into this section. Yeah, over here. And then what I do is you go animation, you do edit track. Hold on, let me remember. Well, now all of these are on their own. Okay, so then I do a new timeline. And I need a new folder. And then when I'm in that folder, I go to edit track, batch specify cells. I need to drag all of these into the folder first. And then I do batch specify cells. Yes. And then I press OK. And then it shows up. Perfect. This is my roughs. And I will make them blue. Dabba-dee dabba-die. Vanilla. We're gonna shrink this down here. We're going to shorten up our timeline. We're going to add a new animation folder. This one will be called, let's see, what do we want to do? Do we want to do leaf pool first, or do we want to do moth flight first? What do you guys think? Moth flight, yeah, moth flight first, or leaf pool first. I'm gonna pull them up. Leaf pool, alrighty, you got it. Okay, we want the cream pencil. Leaf pool rules. Yeah, it is a map part that is focused on leaf pool, so. Just gotta make sure. Okay, she's just got a triangle nose. Leaf pool's your favorite? It's a good pick, for sure. You got the trombone today. You played trumpet. I was also a brass instrument player. I was not a huge musician though. I did not do marching band. But I also played brass. I do like the brass. Get our leaves in there. Oop. Okay. I just had to crack my back. Okay. Continue. So what I'm thinking of is kind of doing the same thing I did with the moth light, in that I traced in the last shot where I kind of traced her body. I'm just a little bit worried that it's gonna look weird if none of the other stuff is moving. I'm not sure. Let me try making it not leaf hair. Okay. Get the circle going. Kind of trying to leave this lines a little sketchier. Maps are very cool. I suggest everyone does one. They weren't really around when I first started to learn how to animate. I did mainly like animation memes and stuff on my own. Like spoof videos or fan animations. So they're not the only way to like practice animation, but they are very fun. You meet a lot of nice people working on them. And they're very rewarding. In my experience. don't know how to do frame by frame. Well, you don't have to know how to... See, in my experience, you don't have to know any of that stuff. That's what... I always used, like, doing map parts and stuff to, like, practice different types of animation to see which one I liked to do the most. I remember, I mean, you can use it for practice. Yeah. I've been drawing cats for a very long time. You can't improve if you don't draw. So just keep drawing and you'll improve. That's in my experience, at least. Personal projects one day, they're fun. I like doing personal projects. You get a lot of freedom. And, I don't know, you're able to really practice whatever you want with personal projects. Like, a lot of my personal projects, I wanted to practice, like, specific programs or a specific type of animation. Man, I always forget how hard cleanup is on my wrist. Shoot, sorry, 1 second. Accidentally kicked my foot stand out from under me. Okay. All right. Hey, King. First stream in my new room. Ooh, a new room. That's exciting. Very exciting. Congrats. Let's see what this looks like. I think I might be able to kind of cheat it a little bit. We will see. And then the hair. Yeah, I think I'll trace over like 3 frames and then loop them, and I'm thinking if I do that, it'll kind of simulate me drawing all the line art over again and save my wrist a little bit. Let's see if I can't get all of this cleaned up in 10 minutes though. We'll see. If I can get her hair cleaned up. This is not my favorite animation to do. For sure. I should do a Warrior Cats quiz. Oh, Midnight. Were you here when I showed you when I was showing off the quiz I made for you guys? I made a quiz on Jetpunk called Name Every Warrior Cat. You have an hour and you have to name them all. The average score is about 50%, so... well, you have to have an extra hour, basically. You're gonna need an hour. I'm only on the 6th series. Yeah, it might be hard for you. Put Tiger Heart automatically won the quiz. Isn't it like Stormclan's Folly, statistically speaking, added like 10% of every single warrior cat is now from Stormclan's Folly or something? I don't think that's true. Did you guys know that like did you know that 20% of all mammals are bats? Did you guys know this? I don't know. That's how I feel when I'm like, did you know 20% of every single named warrior cat is from Code of the Clans? That's crazy. It's true. 40% of all mammals are rodents, which that makes sense. But for 20% of all mammals to be bats, that's pretty crazy. That's a lot of bat species. Does it have wildcats in it? It does. It doesn't have any Suzanne cats, so none that are like semi-canon. So it doesn't have like it doesn't have bat ear. It doesn't have shine cloud. And it doesn't have any mythical cat. So it doesn't have like any leopards or tigers or lions. It's all named feral cats. Well, named house domestic. You know what I'm talking about. I guess technically speaking, the wildcats are their own species, but they are on there. I got 9 out of 1,459. I won. You did indeed. Many bat species are pollinators and keystone species for their biomes. Hi, Otter. Yeah, when I heard that factoid, I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize just how many bat species there were. Ah, I made a bat house a couple years ago now. I like bats too. They're cute. A fungus has been something of a blight to some of the species in the US, so their populations have been dwindling. Well, also I feel like bats are one of those species that's like, it's kind of normalized to treat them as pests. Which is sad, because they're so cute, but I know quite a few people that like can't even... Like if they think that a bat has been somewhere, they won't even go. I mean, a lot of animals carry rabies. Yeah, a lot of people are scared of bats. I do have a huge... I do not like insects of any kind. I don't even really like butterflies. I'm not like going out and murdering them, but I don't have a fear of rodents or bats. But it is a very common fear to have. For sure. scared of ladybugs. I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I am okay with not liking bugs. There are other people out there that like bugs. But that it's not gonna be me ever. I don't like mind. I don't know how to explain it. I do camp a lot, and I am outside a lot. I don't really mind when I see one on me that's not like... Now, spiders, I'm like, bro, don't even... I don't even... If I can see you, you're too close. You're in my zone, and you're... I don't ever want to... I don't want to see you. There are certain insects that I don't mind. I mean, I would prefer them to not be on me. But like if I suddenly have like an ant on me or something, I'm just gonna swat it off of me, you know? A spider in your toothbrush. See, that's a horror story. I'd be like, all right, well, I am never not buying a toothbrush that's going to be vacuum sealed for the entirety rest of my days. I don't ever want to see... I need to spray Raid in every single corner of this bathroom to ever feel safe again. This was not okay. I'm pressing charges. Well, yeah, ticks. I have one of my cousins has Lyme disease that she's convinced she got from a tick. I mean, that is how you get it. I don't really have a super big fear of ticks, personally. When you're camping and stuff, you kind of know what to look out for of, like, where they usually live. Like, they live in tall grasses and stuff. So if you're hiking and you just happen to be going through a bunch of tall grass, then you just know you gotta look for ticks. But leeches. Leeches is another thing that's like, I don't usually think about them, but holy crap, what a terrifying creature. There are some terrifying animals out there. For sure. Parasitic animal. I watched a video once on like how land parasites like leeches and ticks and stuff have nothing on underwater parasites, which are crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm glad I don't live in the water. Head lice, yeah. Definitely not an uncommon experience. Yeah, the Greenland shark parasite. There's a parasite in the water that like replaces the tongue of a fish. I'm just like, oh my gosh, we do have it a little bit easy up here on land. We don't got any parasites replacing, unless you're a bug. You've got those like fungus or whatever. Crazy. Yeah, my mom doesn't like praying mantises because when she was younger, one of them latched onto her and never let go. They had to like, I don't know, it scared her so much. That's where weaver fish are. I don't know. The water is scary, I agree. I respect the place and food chain. I remember I watched this one video on YouTube, and one of the comments, it was like about parasitic creatures in the water. It was the same one where I found out that the parasitic creatures in water are like nothing compared to on land. And somebody was like, it's gonna take a lot of convincing to convince me that these creatures are worth keeping alive. Well, it didn't bite her. It like latched on with like their little grippers and didn't let go. My teacher is afraid of frogs. Because she said that when she was younger, she dreamt of 100 frogs in her room just staring at her. See, that's interesting. Because sometimes I wonder if that's why I don't like bugs. Because I remember when I was younger, like really young, one of my nightmares that I would have over and over was I would wake up in my room at night and my floor would just be covered with bugs. Like, my carpet was replaced with bugs. So I'm like, is that why I hate bugs? There are a couple, like, reoccurring nightmares I had when I was younger that, I mean, I had them enough that I still remember them well into adulthood. Okay. You were around for the OG Blair Witch. See, the first found footage I really watched, I don't think I've ever seen Blair Witch. When did Blair Witch come out? 99. The first one I remember watching was Cloverfield. I feel like in 2008. Yeah, I remember going to theaters and watching Cloverfield. I'm not a huge horror genre person, though. I think I'm going to even this out a little bit more. Love Cloverfield. See, I do like Godzilla movies. Cloverfield didn't do it for me though. I don't really remember Cloverfield that much. It's been a while since I watched it, but I just remember those movies do kind of give me a headache. I think I watched it in theaters, which was probably not the best idea. My favorite movies to watch in theaters are space films. I really liked Gravity is still one of my absolute best experiences in the movie theater was that movie. Really enjoyed that one. The Making of Blair Witch. Yeah. The Blair Witch was the first on a lot of things of like really leaning into the marketing more. How they kind of hid the actors away for a specific amount of time after the movie released and stuff like that. Like they went all in. I actually have no idea how much of that. Yeah, we're not actually going to see that much of that bottom. Just going to zoom in. Project Hail Mary. No, my sister did. It's not a horror movie. Is it a horror movie? Is that the one that they wanted you to see? It was shot in like a certain type of film, and there's only a few theaters around that can actually play it in the intended way it should be watched. Because I think my sister lived in New York City at the time, and I think she watched that movie like the way it was intended to be watched. Like she went to a theater that was able to play it properly. It's not. You said you like to see space movies. Oh, it's a space movie? I actually had no idea. I'm gonna be real with you. I had no idea. Dude, I need to see it then. Project Hail Mary. Oh yeah, it is a space movie. I've actually... Is this the one that I was thinking? There was a movie that just came out. Maybe it wasn't this movie. I should watch it. I'll have to get together with some friends. Maybe it was a different movie. There's a movie that just came out that was shot in a very specific film type. But I can't remember which one it is. I thought it was that one, and now I'm like second guessing myself. The Odyssey? Oh, maybe. That is something that Christopher Nolan would do. session. I don't know. I know my sister... Bet it's the Odyssey. Maybe. The Odyssey just came out though, didn't it? I don't really have any desire to watch the Odyssey. It just seems like it's too long. I don't think I've actually ever sat through an entire Christopher Nolan film all at once, ever in my life. Maybe Interstellar? I don't know. I haven't. Yeah, I don't think I've ever sat through one of his movies. All in one. Inception. Inception I did. Is that one of his 2 hours and 30 minutes? I've definitely sat through Inception. That's probably the only one. I use Clip Studio to clean up my animations, and I like it a lot. I still do my roughs and animate though, mainly because I like the timeline a little bit more. I did just buy a new animation program that I'd like to try out. I might try it out on stream. It's called UmoPin. And it's only 20 bucks. So if it's good, I'd love to be able to recommend it to people. I've seen some videos of it. Yeah, I downloaded it to test out its storyboarding capabilities. It was suggested to me as an alternative to like Storyboard Pro from Toon Boom. And I tested it out a little bit. I do like it. I haven't tried to customize anything on it yet. I'm just using the default brushes and everything, so I'm not sure how the customizing would be. But the fact that you can switch from vector to bitmap in it is definitely a plus for me. I did like what I was feeling from it when I did like I just did like an hour-long test run. You can import brushes for Clip Studio Paint? I'll have to try that out. But I mean, for 20 bucks, I was really enjoying. It seemed like it was already pretty polished. So, I'm willing to give it a go, a good college try. I would like to be able to cut animate out of my pipeline, since it seems like Adobe is just waiting for the opportunity to shut down the program. Do you recommend the animation program you use to animators who'd like to find a good one? No, I don't anymore. This one I would recommend, the Clip Studio Paint. Unfortunately, the timeline is only available on the most expensive version of it. I was going to try Krita at some point, but I haven't yet. So yeah, Tiger Heart, I agree. I don't know. Adobe doesn't care. Well, the thing is that nothing really replaces After Effects, so I'm never going to get rid of all my Adobe programs. Also, I've used Photoshop for like over half my life at this point, so I'm like kind of beholden to it, I suppose. Yeah, Krita I've heard is a good option, especially for like if you just need it for bare bones animating. It's the program that feels the most like just doing hand-drawn animation. I don't know. I think I'm done for today though, guys. My wrist is hurting me a little bit. We got Leaf Pool's hair cleaned up. I'll probably finish up her cleanup off stream. I think I'm gonna trace over her. I have to figure out how to combine these two. I'll figure it out. Quiz? You want to do a quiz? We'll do one quiz. Let me open up Sporkle. What sort of quiz do we want to do, you guys? Yeah, Krita. I want to try Umo Pin. I specifically picked it up because I thought that its storyboarding looked interesting. So that's the next one I'm gonna try to learn. Hopefully I'll be able. I would love to be able to recommend it to people because it is pretty cheap. I don't know if it's available on anything other than desktop though. Yeah, quiz. Let's do. Let's do ThunderClan Queens by number of kits. No Darktale's Judgment quiz yet. I think the Allegiance is a quiz, but we'll have to save the Darktale Judgment ones for when we do the design streams. There we go. I don't think I'll be blocking any of the things with my little talking sprite, but can we name the ThunderClan queens based on the number of kids that they have? I don't think, would Gale Rise count? Gale Rise. She does not count. Leopard Foot, Spot Fur. Oh wait, hold on. I have to change you guys to live chat so I don't miss anybody. Yeah, it's ThunderClan. Maple Shade probably does count, right? Yeah, she does count. And then Dawn Feather, who is Nettle Breeze's mom. Daisy Heart. No, what about Daisy Toe? Excuse me. Spark Pelt. For sure. Blue Star would count. And Snowfur. Snowfur would count. Brindleface. Speckletail would count, and so would Dappletail. And then One Eye also has kids. Flash Nose is a good one. Rain Fur is from the same era. Fern Stripe now, yeah. Sunbeam. Myrtle Bloom. Fern Song is not on here, but Ivy Pool is. Is Dovewing on here? Because she was pregnant before she left. No, she's not on there. Sunbeam I got. Alder Branch is a good one. And then I think Fawn Pelt has 2. Songbird. And Spotted Pelt should be the other unknown. I'm not sure. Mossheart is from that. Moonflower is a good one. Moonflower had 2. Nettle Sting. There's another... Is Fern Whisper count? Even though she was pregnant when StormClan happened? No. Milkweed, Poppy Dawn, and Poppy Frost. Millie's a good one. Bird Flight, yes. And Violet Dawn, yes. Violet Dawn, Gooseberry, and Milkweed all have kids. Leaf Pool would count, and so would Squirrel Star. And then we need Sandstorm. Willow Pelt, Frost Fur, Golden Flower. Does Tawny Pelt count? No. Ah, yes, Blossom Fall. Not Bloom Fall, Blossom Fall. Squirrel Whisker. I got Lily Heart, Cinder Heart, Bright Heart, Myrtle Bloom. I got White Wing's a good one. Robin Wing's a good one. Fern Cloud. We hadn't gotten Fern Cloud yet. We're still missing a number 6, a number 5. Who was Adderfang's mate? That's Swift Breeze. She's probably the one above Brindleface. I'm not sure who's above Cinderheart. That had 6 kits. That's probably somebody that had 2 litters of 3. Ripplegrass is from Wind Clan? Sorreltail. So she had 4 and then 2. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Who's Goosefeather's mom is Daisy Toe. I do believe I got her. I think Shine Cloud will be on here. Sweetbriar, who is Pine Star's mom. Somebody above Nettle Sting. Hazel Frond, does she have kids? Somebody that has 3 kids. Blue Whisker? Yeah. Speckletail. Dappletail we got. Shine Cloud is Fawn Pelt we got. She's under the 3. Spark Pelt, Hair Pounce is a good one. And then Fallow Song is got 3. The person above 2 is going to be... Shine Cloud is kind of like Maple Shade's Vengeance before Maple Shade's Vengeance. And we got Maple Shade. We have Dawn Feather. So this is somebody that's like Goosefeather's Curse era. That had 2 kids. Lark Song? That's Sunstar and Feather Whisker's mom. Who else are we missing? Oh, we're still missing 2 new cats. Sunbeam, yes. We got Sunbeam. Did we get Spot Fur? Yes. Thrift Ear. Oh, yes. Golden, yes. Moonpaws. And then Sorrel Stripe. Sorrel Stripe is Bayshine and Myrtle Bloom's parents. Yes, Nightmare, same brain cell. Same brain cell. Burncloud actually had a lot of kits. She was probably, yeah, she's under 7. Milkweed's still hanging out on top. She's got 8 kits. She has 3 litters in ThunderClan. She's still on top for them. And then we had 4 cats that only had 1. Hey, Chatty Buell. We are done, though. We are done with the stream today. I will let the animation play a couple more times. We worked on this shot. We got a good amount done. I mean, the shot wasn't fit. Like, we did everything that you've seen on stream we did today. So, it's not too bad for about 3 hours of work. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do this weekend. Not sure if I'll do a commission stream. I'll have to figure it out. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can we see the designs next stream? Oh yeah. Yeah. I should show you guys. I haven't decided if I'm gonna post them yet or not. But yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I hope if you're doing art fight, you're nice and productive. I'm gonna go make a pizza. I suggest you go eat something too. But yes, I probably most likely will not see you guys until Tuesday. I would say maybe. But thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Bye-bye.